You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not.
Yeah.
And you are accountable for that as well.
Welcome back, or welcome to Uncle ABL. And in today's video, we're talking about a very viral video all over the internet by this guy. What's his name? This is from the Grits and Necks podcast. His name is Deante Kyle. Okay, Deante Kyle, he's getting slung through the comments because they're saying, hey, there's no accountability for the woman and all the blame is placed on the man for whatever happens. You're just attacking men and pandering to women. Now, before I get into the video, a little bit of background. So there's a thing where women don't want men to approach them. Some women, not all, but they're talking about there's been some dangerous incidents or they don't feel comfortable or whatever it is. Now, from what I'm able to gather, and I could be wrong, and from all y'all correct me in the comments, but Deante Kyle's like, hey, there are a bunch of men who behave like that toward women. So all the other men, you got to be accountable for that. I don't know about the whole, I got to be accountable for what the next man does. I understand maybe your point to a certain extent, but at the same time, I see why you're getting a bunch of negative comments. And before I go any further into it, let's check out the actual clip. Of course, I will link to the full clip if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not.
Yeah.
And you are accountable for that as well. Because I don't got time to figure out which white people are nice, which white people aren't racist, or da-da-da-da-da. I have to go on the actions of the group.
Right.
The group as a whole and the history of that group as a whole tells me that they are a danger to me and they are not to be trusted.
Right.
Okay, so there's a lot there. First of all, when you say they, that means you too, right? That means you are a danger. You're not to be trusted. So you think that the women, based upon the actions of a few, got to treat you the same way as a black man. Now, wouldn't that be the case for white people in general to say, hey, you know what? I had a few bad black interactions, so I think everybody who's black is the exact same way. So now we're regressing in society, going back to a time of racism, segregation, and stuff like that. So you got to be a little bit careful with what you say. You got to think deeply about what you say, but I digress.
Right.
And if you can understand that as a black man, and your stance towards white people, then you should absolutely be able to understand women's stance towards you. Mm-hmm. It's not a war on you waged by women. Actually, the war get a little thicker when we start talking about it from the perspective of a woman and the greater society of racism and white supremacy being waged against black people, and then the patriarchal society being waged against women. So they have to deal with two elements. One of those elements we don't have to think about, and honestly, we're perpetuated.
So when you say we perpetuated, what do you mean? You perpetuated because you just talked about, you just gave rationale to the white supremacist to be racist toward you. Then you say, well, that's a problem we got to deal with in society. Well, you are helping that whole thing go forward. And patriarchy, what patriarchy? Black women, what patriarchy? In the black community, where it's matriarchy. What patriarchy are we talking about exactly? I don't understand. This is kind of a convoluted message.
Mm. And it's perpetuated against us young to look at women as objects.
Right.
You know, to look at women only through the lens of a sexual desire and not as the human being that they are. And when you understand how to deal with women on a human level, you understand how much women will enrich your life.
Honestly, I do understand that. Deal with them on a human level, but at the same time, we are human beings and the sexual part is going to have to be there. Because if not, then we don't exist. So that's got to be there. So you could do two things at once. The human part, yes, correct. But also the sexual part. You got to see her in a sexual way if you're going to have a romantic interest in her. If not, then that's not the same thing.
Mm. Amen. Amen.
What's up with the look? I mean, I wasn't, there wasn't no mic drop moment, bro. Keep on going.
You want to turn it up a notch?
Yeah.
Get you a good woman and get you a good black woman in your corner.
Amen.
Hey, man, you want to see your life turn up?
Hey.
And see, this is the thing, though. It's a privilege, bro. It's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? We often disregard the power of our black women, the spiritual essence that they're gonna bring to things, the knowing, the seeing. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, imagine it. They have to be hyper vigilant. Because they have to be constantly scanning the room, making sure that they're in a safe situation.
Absolutely.
So if she go scan the room for threats, I thought that was your job as a man to be protector, provider, not hers talking about, oh, I'm scanning for threats. I don't know, man. This guy's just real young. He probably like 26, 27, real young guy. So I understand why he's talking like this to a certain extent. You just learning, bro.
You know what I'm saying? When we think about these kids who were clearly in Louisiana having the time of their life because they graduated, and we think about white people's reaction to Black joy.
Oh yeah, that's
it's not about civility.
I saw that video. I mean, when I was in high school, we wouldn't have done all that right there at that moment. Yeah, that's a little extra. If we were to see that as kids in high school, we would have said the same thing that everybody's saying right now. It's not about a white thing. Oh, look at they don't understand how to process Black joy. Nah, it's not that.
It's not about decorum. They don't like to see us happy.
that's what it is.
Now, how often are women just having a good time, and here come a nigga trying to ruin their fun?
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Do you understand what you just said? You just talked about white people being racist towards you, talking about, oh, they don't want to see us happy. And then you said, look at this N-word ruining our fun. That's the exact same thing a white person would say to you. And that'd be the reason why they don't like you. But you want to sit here and complain about racism. Bro, what are you saying? Do you hear yourself talk? It was not a mic drop. It was not a mic drop, bro. Don't give me no fat face look, bro. That was not a mic drop.
Just be honest. You can call it pandering.
Hey, and something else though, since I'm right here talking about fat face and stuff like this, I ain't even trying to be funny, but on some real stuff, you're young, bro. I'm older than you are. You could be like my son or my nephew. You probably about 25. I'll be 41 September. I got a nephew your age. Bro, you're fat. You need to just tighten up your diet, tighten up what you're eating, what you're drinking. I don't know. But I shouldn't be looking better than you at my age. It should be the other way around, if anything.
But if I was up here caping for white women, you wouldn't even mention that word. If I was up here caping for Hispanic women, you wouldn't even call it pandering. Only when we take pride and show love to Black women do you call it pandering. Get your right. Use your cabeza.
Are you black? Are you black, bro? What's up with the Spanish at the end? But anyway, shout out to this dude. And for real. I need you to really tighten up on your physical health. I don't want to see anybody, mid-20s developing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure. Anybody got no time for that, man? Look, life is short and it's precious, and you need to take care of your body the best you can, because you could live to be a certain amount of years, but you want to live in comfort, relative comfort physically. You don't want to be broken down physically. 30 years old, going to the gas station, honey packs, Viagra, all of that. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Nah, man, I need y'all to be athletic. I need y'all to be active. I need y'all to be virile. I need you to be out here as men. As men. You could do a podcast, that's fine. You could do your podcast, bro. I got a podcast too, but at the same time, you got to enrich your physical health. Not just trying to get finances, not just trying to spread a message, not just trying to be woke and mic drop and stuff like that. But look, I don't want to preach too much. As I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the young guy, Deante. What's his name? I don't want to get his name wrong. It's the Grits and Necks podcast. His name is Deante Kyle. I'll link to that clip in the box, and I think that clip will link to his Twitter page, so you're able to follow him right there. But I think he had some points, about, treat them as humans. That was a good one. I say that all the time. Treat women as human beings. But you know what? This whole thing about you have to be held accountable because men did something. Listen, there's nothing you can really do to try and please women, because watch this. Okay, let's just solve for what you said, right? You said we got to be held accountable because some men will approach women and they're violent when they get rejected, or they may approach them violently. Okay, let's just say to protect women, we don't approach them anymore. And that's what guys are doing, because we got the message. Okay, look, you don't want us to approach you. You feel uncomfortable. You're unsafe. And if I do approach you, you're going to crash out on me, call the police, record me, put me on TikTok, ruin my life. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm not going to approach you. Then what happens? What are they going to say? It'd be a different complaint. The next complaint would be, oh, these men don't want to approach anymore. They want you to approach them. They think they're the prize. They want to be courted. They want you to give them flowers. You see how that works? They're never going to be happy. So rather than just trying to throw men under the bus, you just got to tell men to do things for you and don't even really worry about trying to please them. And when I say do things for you, behave as a man. Be respectful, honorable, generous whenever you can. Just be a man with integrity, period, regardless of whether it's a woman that you're trying to be with romantically, a man you're trying to be friends with, somebody you're trying to get some money from, regardless of what it is, be a man at all times. That's the best way going forward. And as far as this whole approaching thing, what you have to do because of what the women are saying, the best way for you to operate and not get in trouble and still have some kind of success is when they give you obvious signals. What they call them choosing signals. Shout out to AMS. Shout out to everybody. Get the obvious signal. Get the obvious sign that she's somewhat interested. A cut of the eye, something. If she's not giving you that sign, then I wouldn't even approach her at all because she probably does not want to be bothered. I'm not trying to bother nobody. My method usually works when they make it obvious. And a lot of times they make it obvious. I'll tell you one quick story before I wrap it up. So I'm out here where I live. I'm walking on this bridge, right? It's like it's a foot bridge out here in Chattanooga. I'm on the bridge and I see the young lady, okay, kind of in front of me. I see her. I'm walking past her. But as I'm walking past, I see her look at me. So now I got it. And also as I'm approaching her, she kind of saw me because I think she had her phone up. She saw me. So she kind of like got over a little bit into my walking path, stuff like that. Signs that she's interested in you approaching her. And when you do approach her, be 100% respectful. Hello, how are you? Like it's a business meeting. And if she say, I'm not interested, whatever, you back off. That's how you got to do it to protect yourself. And again, you're doing that for you. You're not doing that for her. And you're not going to throw the next man under the bus to be able to accomplish your goal. That's pretty much all I got. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.